plagues the church. Sin hurts the church. And that's how Satan does the greatest damage in the church, by getting people to sin. Historically speaking, like I said, persecution from the outside had only aided the church, purified the church, strengthened the church. Therefore, Satan operates from the inside of the church. I wonder if God would have left out these gross and ugly incidences from the early churches. Just imagine if he had left out these and didn't mention them at all. But God didn't, because he wanted to demonstrate the true and the honest picture of everything, and especially of his church. The common accusation, people, I know your church is very active in street evangelism and outreach and all that. You must have come across this one. People from one of the main worldview, one of the mainstream religions, I'll leave it unnamed. The common accusation those people bring against the Bible is this: that Bible speaks of prophets' sins and their dark sides. It talks about David's sin, and it talks about Solomon's sins, and it talks about their sins, and these are the sins in the sight of God, and this book speaks of their sins, so it cannot be the word of God. I've heard it thousands of times, and those of you who are involved in this ministry, you would have heard this too. But I believe this is quite the opposite. These should be seen as biblical defense against inaccuracies and fallacies, that this book spares no one. This book spares no one, and tells the harshest and the bitterest truth of everyone, even of the saints. This is the true word of God. This is actually shows the validity of this word, that it spares no one, and even says what it is and tells us as it is. Now this shows the stubborn honesty, non-negotiable accuracy, fierce reliability, and unwavering trustworthiness of the word of God, the Bible. Because it says what it is, covers nothing, hides nothing, unmasks everything, and almost embarrassingly blunt, talking about God's people's stories, and tell the truest truth. And this truthfulness of the Bible is also an encouragement. How is this an encouragement? Because God took the church with sin, and God took the sinners in the church and transformed the whole world. Church is not perfect. The fact of the matter is, God has always had to work with sinful men, because there are no sinners. So he already had to work. That gives us hope, that we are all sinners and none of us is perfect. But in God's hand, we can be effective. God takes us, forgives us, purifies us, sanctifies us, cleanses us, and makes us the vessel that we ought to be. The church is not perfect. Why? Because there is sin in the church. And why is there sin?